This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
We're back again. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, on the big time right here on the Big Time Rants on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all that wonderful stuff, and share. Breaking news. Let's rant about it, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it's time to say to Vince McMahon again. Maybe for the last time. Maybe for the last time. Maybe forever. Ladies and gentlemen, federal investigation may force Vince McMahon to step down from WWE role. Coming from Ringside News. Vince McMahon's return to WWE to seize power once again was a string of business moves that should be taught by the most ruthless professors for the rest of time. He is now back and speaking freely during company meetings, but how long will the tenure last for Mr. McMahon? It's been a tumultuous year for Vince McMahon, WWE, and its fans. McMahon initially stepped down from his role last year amid a hush money scandal, but returned in January. WWE struck up a deal with Endeavor next and merged with the UFC into TKO. This merger proceeded despite ongoing federal government investigations into McMahon's undisclosed payments related to hush money scandal from last summer, which were absent from WWE's annual accounts. McMahon is alleged to have paid a minimum of $14.6 million to multiple women, including former WWE employees, to maintain their silence regarding claims of sexual misconduct and infidelity dating back to 2006. An additional $5 million was reportedly paid to Donald Trump Foundation for Trump's television appearance in 2007 and 2009. Jacob Finkel, chair of Dickinson Wright's Government Investigation and Securities Enforcement Practices Group, and a former senior counsel in the SEC's Division of Enforcement, suggested to the LA Times that McMahon may be facing criminal or civil liabilities that could potentially lead to departure from his role in WWE. While federal authorities executed search warrants and subpoenas subpoena Vince McMahon on July 17th. No charges have been filed against him yet. It's important to note that the recent releases have significantly impacted morale at WWE company headquarters. We will have to see if this actually comes to Vince McMahon stepping down from WWE once again. At this time, we are still awaiting the results on this ongoing situation. That from Ringside. Let's read what Fightful has to say as they have a report up. Former WWE board member Ignis LeHound did not believe Vince McMahon's return was judicious. What? Judicious. Coming from Fightful. Vince McMahon retired as WWE CEO in July of 2022 amid allegations of sexual misconduct and paid hush money. McMahon would step down from his duties, allowing Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan to take over interim. The WWE board launched an investigation into the allegations. In January 2023, Vince McMahon returned to the board of directors as the controlling shareholder, stating that he was looking to explore strategic alternatives, which include a potential sale. The board stated in a letter that his return would not be prudent amid ongoing government investigations, but Vince McMahon used his majority voting power to return. Outs board members Joe Ellen Lyons Dillon, Jeffrey Speed, and Alan Wexler. Ignis LeHound and Manji Singh resigned from the board. Speaking to the LA Times, LeHound said, "It wasn't aligned with my way of seeing what governance is. Was a misalignment with what my values are." Someone close to one of the Outs board members said he's the kind of person who expects loyalty, adding that McMahon viewed its investigations as an act of disloyalty, and even though the board was doing its job. On the subject of Vince McMahon stepping down in 2022, an individual close to the board stated, he said, "Okay, do whatever you guys need to do. I'm not going to stand in your way." Of course, when the board said, "Well, we think you need to step down," he wasn't happy about it, but he did. In August, it was revealed that Vince was served with a subpoena and that the federal law enforcement agency executed a search warrant. No charges were filed. After the WWE and UFC mergers became official on September 12th, Nick Khan stated Vince's return had everything to do with the sale and wanting the best for shareholders, not him staying on the board and remaining involved, which he is, because he is the head of the board and TKO. He is answering to only Arya Emanuel, which he announced at the meeting with the other people at the headquarters for WWE, which also got some negative reviews and some negative responses where people are criticizing Vince McMahon even being there and what he even said in regards to WWE, why it needed to be sold, saying it was stale, the product had plateaued. And a lot of people are saying this doesn't sound right. Now, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but there was rumors and stuff that was out there. There's murmurs on this on the IWC. There's little, could it be possible that Vince McMahon intentionally sold the company or merged the company with UFC to create TKO so he could get back in power and later take the company and take it back private under his full 100% ownership? Is this the move that Vince McMahon is trying to play out? Will we see TKO? Will we see the UFC WWE merger fall apart? Will TKO become its own entity and Vince McMahon won't own just WWE but walk away with UFC just to be in full control? We know Titan Sports, WWE. Well, that was one thing. Now we have TKO over WWE and Vince McMahon's head of that board. So what is going on? Could we be seeing Vince McMahon having to go away because the federal investigation is still ongoing into a lot of the shenanigans that were going on behind the scenes? Vince McMahon did pay these people out of money from the WWE. He did pay it back, as we understand, but there was still a lot of shady dealings on it. And for once, I hope the federal government does something. I'm not a big fan, but this is one time I want to see the federal government push into it and find out what's really going on, because if we can get Vince out of office, if this forces him to step down again and have to go away permanently, it would be best for business. We already see Vince McMahon getting his hands in the cookie jar again, and it does not look like it's going to be a good thing. But we'll have to wait and see as more information comes out. So, is the federal government going to investigate Vince McMahon? Is this going to become an issue? Is this going to change the course of everything that just happened after the merger? Is this going to thwart Vince McMahon's plans? Is the evil Vince McMahon really more than we think? Was it Vince McMahon, the evil Vince McMahon, just a character, or was that truly the Vince McMahon that we've never known? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this is going to get real interesting if this gets to going, if this gets any traction, if there is any continuing investigation going into Vince McMahon by the federal government. If they push this information and this could oust him. He did things that were very shady in a business practice, and most time people who do this in any type of business practice are out of business and don't get to come back into that corporation, let alone very rarely will they find another place where they'll be put in any sort of authoritative power like this, like Vince McMahon has done. So, Vince McMahon not only used money from the WWE to hush people about misconduct, sexual misconduct, and infidelity, he also, once he paid that off and he stepped down, then he figured a way to manipulate himself since he was a shareholder, claiming he wasn't going to work with the company to sell the company unless he was involved, or TV rights deals. He was going to be a pain, so he manipulated his way back into power, forced or removed people from the board that weren't in line with what he wanted, got people on board that were in line with what he wanted, got into the agreement with Endeavor, Arya Emanuel, to merge TKO, to merge UFC and WWE into TKO. Now that that's all happened, what is going to happen next? Are we going to see Vince McMahon go bye, bye, bye? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's only a matter of time before we find out more on all of this. Anyways, on the big time, I'm staying up to date on the news. I will bring you more if anything else comes out on this issue or any other issues. Lots of stuff going on, so keep your ears here. Make sure you're subscribed, like, ring that bell for notifications if you want to know when new videos come out, and be ready, because you never know when the next episode of the Big Time Rants will drop. Anyways, make sure you do all that wonderful stuff. Keep your eyes out. This has been The Value of Wrestling. I'm the Big Time. This is the Big Time Rants, and I am out.
This is the value of wrestling. The revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.